Folks, when I was growing up, there was a really cool TV show on the weekends celebrating sports of all types on ABC here in the States called the ABC Wide World of Sports. And right from the intro, it let you know that this show not only celebrated the, quote, thrill of victory, it also celebrated the agony of defeat. Well, at the time we're recording this, we have been doing Wordle every day on this channel for coming up on almost 3.5 years. That's, by my math, a lot of Wordles. And yes, from time to time, we do experience the agony of defeat. At the time we're recording this, we just experienced one such defeat yesterday. So we thought it would be interesting to reflect and look back on the times that we stumbled and fell a little bit in the history of this program. So without any further ado, let's take a look back at some of our little missteps here as we play Wordle on Everyday Doug. Happy Friday! It's Friday, May 20th, 2022. I'm Doug. It's time for Wordle 335. So here's the deal. I know it's an inside joke here on the show that especially the first few months of this show, roate was the most commonly requested word. Everyone wanted that word. Maybe audio was another one. Lately, for the last month or so, every day in the comments, especially asking about the hard word challenge episodes. I know we got to tape some more. People want XYLIL. Here's Trad, the most recent commenter. Can you try starting with XYLYL? When Wordle gets too easy for me, I start with XYLYL. Sounded like a drug commercial. But anyhow, everybody wants this word to get played. So you know what? Today's the day. I know we'll also probably do an extended hard word challenge episode with it. So it's coming. Be calm, be calm. But for now, for the Daily Wordle, let's get it out of everyone's system. Now, if this is the starting word today, I'm just going to immediately turn the camera off and go to the casino. Just saying. Okay, here we go. Surprise, surprise. No letters have been discovered here. But that's okay. All right, let's venture forward, shall we? All right, how about we need to pick up some ground, so we'll do adore, which is always a good go-to. Adore gets me A, R, and E out of position. So kind of a good little recovery there. Definitely a good recovery. Just looking at these letters, how about the word reach? Reach makes sense. And I would like to encourage you to reach for that subscribe button. You like that? Clever. See, I think I earned a few subscribes on that. I know that there's 1,000 of you that haven't done that. So hopefully I've charmed my way into your taking 2 seconds to click that button. Thank you. Reach, what does that get me? Reach gets me the intel that R, E, and A have 2 places each eliminated. I'll take it. That's fine. I was going to say Earth, but we've looked at the H already, so it's not that, to be sure. We have... I feel like maybe do I want to do an evaluation word here? Stump would get me, stunk would actually probably be better because I'd get STU and N off the board. I mean, there's only 2 letters to be found. Does it make sense to do that, or do I try to continue to reshuffle A, R, and E around? You know what? I'm going to do one more evaluation, as I feel if I can get one of the 2 letters lit up, this will make things maybe a little bit, it might break the case open. All right, so I'm going to do one evaluation word here. Ooh, nothing. Okay, all right. I think I feel like I've paid a little bit of a price for that decision. Wow. Okay. What do I do next? What do I try to... Where do I put the... See, here's the thing. I'm trying to figure out what makes sense in terms of where to put the A and the E. You know what's interesting? You see, now I'm paying the price for that evaluation. So I'm down to 2 guesses. I will say, here's a combination of letters. I'm going to try the word wafer because that's a unique AER position. And I got to tell you, I really, I feel like the A and the E are going to get locked in here at minimum. And the R has to be either at the end or in the middle, to be sure. Wafer actually looks good here. But nonetheless, I feel like I've got a lot of potential here. All right, let's try wafer. All right, well, we're down to one guess, but we have locked the A and the E and the R in. I guess, wow. Boy, I'm in big trouble here. I'm in big trouble. Pager immediately comes into my mind here. I'm trying to figure out pager, paver, right? Pager, paver. It's not wager. Man, I'm really paying the price for that stunk, huh? That decision stunk. Pager, paver. I think the good news is I'm not seeing any reason. I don't think that there's any other first letter that's going to make a lot of sense here. I don't think there's a first letter besides P that makes sense here. Gamer. Oh, Jesus. Oof, we got pager, we got gamer, paver. Wow, so there's like a 1 in 3. At best, I'm a 1 in 3 of getting myself out of this. And I think really it probably comes down to pager and gamer. So it's like that 50-50. Oh my goodness, what would make more sense here? Pager or game? What did Josh Wardle think of in this moment? Pager or gamer? That's what I think I'm down to. I mean, I have to eventually. I mean, there's no shot clock in Wordle, but I eventually have to go and commit to something, right? I could see it being either. That's the part that sucks. Ah, man. Well, this might be our first failure in the history of the Daily Wordle episode. This could be a historic event. And perhaps a self-inflicted wound. Let's be honest. I'm really regretting making that evaluation word on the fourth guess. This will go down, I'm sure, in the comments as Doug blew it, and I would be guilty of that. I'm gonna go with pager. I'm gonna go with pager. I'm gonna lock in my answer here. I'm gonna cross my fingers, and let's see if we get ourselves out of what's probably the most precarious position we've ever been in on this series. Or if we've got our first failure. Is it pager? It was gamer. Ah, that hurts. That hurts. This is our first in the 100-something episodes of the Daily Wordle, our first failure. It was going to happen eventually, so there's no shame here. I'm not sad. It is what it is. We do play these organically. You get what you get. I don't do anything untoward. So we're going to get back on our horse tomorrow, and we're going to keep trying Wordle because that's what we do. No one's perfect. Please feel free to now shower me with criticism, justly deserved, by the way, for making a terrible decision on the fourth guess. It is what it is. I'm human. Thank you for watching. Thank you for enjoying. I promise you I will do my best. We'll get back on the horse tomorrow, and we'll have some more fun playing the Daily Wordle. Well, hello, everyone. It is Friday, December the 30th, 2022. I am Doug. It's time for Wordle 559. Crazy Sophie. I just like to say Crazy Sophie. Any relationship to Crazy Eddie of the 80s electronics store fame? Just wondering. Comment below. I'd love to know. Maybe try sheet or audio. Now, we just did audio, so therefore I'm going to go with sheet. S-H-E-E-T, and let's see what happens. No, sheet does not give me anything whatsoever. Yeah, so there you go. Let's see if Fudgy is still in a giving mood here. What say you, Fudgy? Oh! Sheet, Fudgy, nothing whatsoever. Okay, well... Now what do we do? Already starting off with a pretty rough beginning. Lots of very important letters completely unused here. I feel like what I have to do, and it's only going to get me 4 letters, but they're really important ones. So I'm going to go with the word radio. I want to at least cover all my vowels. Guaranteed to get something here. What does radio pull up? Radio gets me A, R, A, and O out of position. All right, so our fortunes have pretty much turned around a bit. So what do we do next? You know what? The first thing that came right into my mind, it's an interesting word. How about the word arbor? It would have a double R, and I'm only going to be able to evaluate the B, but if it's not the answer, it's going to give us a lot of position information. So I guess I can live with that. All right, mildly nervous is my current state going into our 4th guess. What do we get with the word arbor? Okay, not a solve, but we get an R locked into position and the knowledge that there is only one R in this puzzle. So, okay. All right. Interesting. I was thinking valor, but we've tested the O in the 4th position, so it is not valor. Man, oh man. I mean, if the O is not in the 1st position, it's going to be in the 2nd or 3rd. Wow. And the thing that's really got me vexed here is we still have an awful lot of there's unused consonants that are pretty hot. We only have 2 guesses left, and I've got a hot eval idea, but it's scary because if it's not the answer, and it won't be the answer because it's not going to have an R in it. We're only going to get 1 guess. This idea will guarantee we lock the A in at minimum and possibly get us one of the other consonants that we desperately need here. So the thought that's in my mind, I'll share it, is the word clank. Again, we are guaranteed going into the final guess to have the A locked into position. And one of the other letters known to be in the 1st or 2nd spot. So the gambit is that we're hoping that C, L, N, or K also light up and give us a good fighting chance. We are in trouble here. Suddenly the mood has turned somber. But I think this is about all I can do right now because it's just not coming to me. So, with genuine nervousness, I'm going to go with clank and see if we can get one of those consonants lit. What do we get? We get an L. Okay, we have an L. And we know that the A is at the end. So let's just start the visualization here with what we know to be true. We have A and R. We have an L and an O that we also need to place. We know the L has to be in the 1st or the 3rd spot. We know the O has to be in one of the first 3 spots as well. I suppose that oh my God, we have a 50-50. We have a 50-50 on the end here. Here you go. I guarantee you this is what we're up against. Oh, this is going to be tricky. OLAR. We have an OLAR here. But here's the problem. It's either polar or molar. We have a 50-50 for our last guess. So we might end the year taking our second L of the series. But here's the thing. I'm okay with that. I'm at peace with that. Again, I said this a few days back. We're not here to get a spot in the Olympics. We're here to have a good time and play some recreational Wordle. And so there you go. We'll set the stage. The stakes have never been higher. We have a 50-50. It's polar or molar. Both of them look good. Is Wordle answers. Molar is kind of an maybe the kind of word a New York Times editor would choose. It's like a medical term. It's something folks would recognize. But polar is interesting because it maybe fits the theme of wintertime, and it is wintertime right now. So I'm trying to put myself in the head of the New York Times editor right here. Polar or molar, what are they most likely to think? I got to tell you, here's what I'm thinking. Just because of the day of the year it is, it's the middle of December, or late December, I should say. It's about to be New Year's Eve. I'm gonna go with polar. I'm gonna go with polar. And if you've already played the puzzle, you're either cheering or screaming at me at your monitor right now. But that's what I got. So with the most drama I think we've ever had for the final guess, I will ask humbly, is the answer to today's Wordle the word polar? Oh, no, it's not. It was clearly molar. Well, there you go. This is the mark it down in your history books. This is the second daily Wordle that we failed to solve in this series of well over 300 episodes, right? Something like that. But there you go. You have it. So, here's the thing. Like I've said, these are legitimate games we play. I don't have any information leading in, so that's going to happen. So our streak that was going on since I think like May has been broken. But you know what? Here's what we do. We get up, we dust ourselves off, and we play on. And tomorrow is a really, really big day for the channel. It's New Year's Eve, the conclusion of a very wordy holidays, and our big New Year's Eve stream tomorrow night. So lest not our hearts be troubled, we are going to have a great time, and it's going to be a blast. We'll see you tomorrow with some more Wordle. Well, hello, everyone. It is Tuesday, November the 14th, 2023. I am Doug. It's time once again to play some Wordle. Jody Shetty, 3886, writes in, "Hey, Doug, can you start with the word ratio tomorrow?" Ooh, that's an interesting one. Ratio gets us 3 vowels and an R and a T. Very good starting word, one of the best. So we're going to go ahead and start with ratio. And look at that, not bad. You're always happy whenever I see some green on that first guess. And there we have the A in position to get us started off. So pretty happy about that. Of course, we have the U and the E still to be looked at. Wouldn't be surprised if one of those is out there to be figured out. Let's see, what would make some sense here? What about sauce? Thinking about U and E, and I know we don't typically, just go right for it on the second guess, but think about this for a second. Here's what I love about sauce. Well, besides the fact that I love sauce in general, what's your favorite sauce, by the way? Let me know in the comments. Look at that. Impromptu engagement topic, but I am curious. For me, it's a tomato sauce. Why did I say it with that weird, I don't know. I like chicken parm. Anyway, sauce. Let's not get lost in it. But boy, that is tantalizing, looks delicious, and could be a 2-guess solve. Ladies and gentlemen, is the answer to today's puzzle the word sauce? No, it's not. All right, I thought for a minute that S popped in, but no sauce, no U and E. So interesting. I suppose. Now there's the interesting part. At first thing I'm thinking, is there a double A? But I just realized, looking at the unused letter board, is that Y is hanging out there. So then I'm wondering, I realize we're almost playing in hard word mode, but it just feels intuitive here. What about something like the word sandy? And quite frankly, I like this because these are the kind of letters I want to look at anyway. There's no other vowels to evaluate. So this actually feels really good to me. Looking at some other possibilities, you could have something like sappy, I suppose, but the Y will test for that possibility as well. Saggy. I got a feeling we're getting that Y. I got a very good feeling about that. Hopefully, we're not putting ourselves into a position here where there's so many, we'll say SA blank blank Y words that we get into a big problem. But I don't think it will be that bad. And I think Sandy is the way to go here to start. So let's give it a shot, see if we can get in 3. Is the answer to today's puzzle the word Sandy? No, it's not. There it is, though. There's that Y, just as I suspected. So here's where I think I'm a little worried. I see a bunch of double letter possibilities. I see sappy. I see saggy. I don't think Sally or Sammy would work. I don't think those would be as proper names. I don't think they would be on the Wordle answer list. So saggy and sappy both look compelling to me. Let's just see here. Q obviously ruled out. I don't think W has any place here. And I don't think F does. So P and G are the two very interesting letters to me here. Salty doesn't work because we tested the T. Of course, Sally and Sammy. I guess Sammy might be an abbreviation or an alternate for the word sandwich. I know in Australia, a sandwich is referred to commonly as a Sammy, although I believe that would be Sammie. So I'm not going to get too lost in that. So I think our letters of interest are P and G, potentially L and M. Do I want to just go for it and hope I'm not missing things and maybe running out of guesses? Or do I be strategic and do an eval on the 4th guess? That is what I'm debating here. So what I could do... So here's a really crazy idea, and please hear me out. If I evaluated the word blimp, 3 of the 4 possible letters that are players here get evaluated. If they all come up gray, I think we have to go with saggy. Obviously, if we get the L, M, or P lit, we go right to Sammy, Sally, or sappy, and I don't think there's a lot of other room for mistakes here. This feels like the safest thing for me to do in this spot. Just in case as a hedge, if I missed something. I don't think I have, but I think this is the safest way to go. I realize that, we could try sappy, then saggy, but then if it's, Sally or Sammy, I'm only going to have one guess. So I think unconventional would I have to do this on the 4th guess. So here we go, blimp for eval, and hopefully this lights the way. And oh my goodness gracious, they're all gray, so we have to assume saggy here. And again, I'm taking a moment and just double checking here. Yeah. What about savvy? It's S-A... Let me see, is it S-A-V-V-Y? Well, I guess it would savvy or saggy. Oh, I didn't even think about savvy until just now. This is exactly what I was a little worried about. Savvy and saggy. Oh, but now I kind of honestly, between savvy and saggy, I'm liking savvy more than saggy. So let's just think about this. If savvy is not it, and I don't light up any V's, I have one guess left, but we only have 9 possible letters, and I can tell you that 4 of them immediately out of hand, you can actually probably Probably pretty much everything except G I can rule out of hand. So nerve-wracking, but not too much. So, all right, here we go. A little drama here on our fifth guess. Is the answer to today's puzzle the word savvy? No V's. Oh boy. So here we are down to the end, folks. Again, I'm going to take a minute here. QWZX, I cannot put those anywhere in here. F, there's no such thing as Safi. H makes no sense. J makes no sense. K makes no sense. So it's got to be saggy. It's got to be saggy. We're putting let's see, I think we're over 300 puzzle streak now in jeopardy. But we're going with saggy on the sixth guess. I feel good, but well, I gotta admit I'm nervous here. All right, here we go. Is the answer to today's puzzle the word saggy? No, it's not. Sassy. Oh my goodness, I didn't even think about sassy. Sassy never came into my mind. The triple S. Oh no. Wow. Well, that never came into my mind. At no point did sassy come into my mind. I can't. Of course, and obviously now I feel unbelievably stupid. How could I have not thought about sassy? I got so obsessed with the letterboard. And there you go. It was 300 something. Cassandra Hermiston will probably put the exact number up on the screen. Consecutive solves. And we done blew it here today. Sassy. This is I believe the third fail in our show. Xylil was one. Or no, it was a starting word I failed on. But sassy. So ratio took me out. Well, there you go. I mean, look, this happens. Like I said, this is all organic, and you get what we have. So historic moment on the show. Please react gently. No, you know what? I deserve a good boom roasting on that. That's a pretty common word, and it never showed up in my noggin. So there you go. There you have it. Tomorrow we begin a brand new streak. And you know what? Let's go ahead and call it. We'll call it. This is the point. I was thinking about that. We'll call it a new season starting tomorrow. We'll reset all of our statistics. And there we go. So there you go. You never should miss an episode of this program. So unfortunately, if you did, well, you're going to find out from your friends and neighbors what happened. So anyhow, there it is. The streak has ended. We're going to start tomorrow, though. Get back on the horse and see how long we can ride. So I hope you join me tomorrow with some more Wordle. Well, everyone, it is Thursday, June the 27th, 2024. I'm Doug. It's time once again to play some Wordle. David and Helen, 4657, write in. Where is tomorrow's starting word? I imagine there was probably an episode not too long ago where I forgot to give the starting word, so apologies, acknowledgement, and the knowledge that today is where day. Let's go ahead and start with where. And there we go, an E and an R at a position, of course, also the knowledge that there's only one E. And by the way, before we keep going, just a reminder, we are continually looking this week, a drive to get as many starting word suggestions as possible. So please leave your starting word suggestions in the comments because we would love to feature them on the show. All right, getting back to business here. Again, armed with the knowledge that we have here, there's many different directions I think we could go. Let's see. How about? I see a few different ways I can see going with this. How about the word? Let's try the word react. Let's take A, C, and T and add them as letters to evaluate. Of course, also looking for intel on R and E. could be the answer. Is the answer to today's puzzle the word react? No, it's not. And the R and the E still out of position. So there are only two places that E can be, the first or the fourth spot. I wonder if what I'm trying to do here is maybe look at R and E in the third and fourth spot, respectively. What would we do with that if we wanted to go down that path? Let's see. We could say the thing is we still have I and O to look at for what it's worth. Siren is interesting. So that gets us one of the three remaining vowels we have yet to look at, but also S and N. So maybe that's the next path here. It could be the answer, but I think we're going to get a lot of good information out of here. We'll know where the E is for certain at the end of this. If it's not the fourth, it's the first. So there's at least one sure bet, but hopefully others too. Is the answer to today's puzzle the word siren? No, it's not, but okay, we at least have the E locked in, and we know that there's only one E. There's no I. So there could also very likely be an O or a U in here as well. The R has to be in the second or the fifth spot at this point. I feel like maybe we're looking at the fifth spot for the R. ER. That puts a few different possibilities in play. I feel like I like the O more than the U here. So let's see. I was going to say cover. What could be mover? Can't be hover. Mover is interesting to me, because we'll know where the R is at the end of this, even though we'll only have two guesses left. We'll know about whether there's an O in here. I think the O is more likely than the U, and we'll test M and V. I guess lover is a possibility too, and maybe L is a more common letter. Maybe I go with lover for the reason that L is more common than M. It could be the answer. I'm going to go with this. Is the answer to today's puzzle the word lover? No, it's not. And we have an O. We have an O. And this is interesting because you would expect the O to be in the second spot, but it's not. I don't think the O can be in the third spot, right? I really don't believe that could be in the third spot. So we're looking at O, blank, blank, ER. Oh, we've tested the T, so it's not otter, it's not other. It could be offer. Oh, here's where we're got a lot of problems here. Oh, my goodness. Offer is a possibility. I guess otter is a possibility. Again, we only have two guesses to work with here. Q is not a player. Outer is not a player because we tested the T. So I still think we're safely ruling out the U here. So we have otter and offer. P won't make sense. G won't make sense. K and J don't make sense. M doesn't make sense. All right, so I want to say that we're down to offer and otter. But I'm nervous because we only have the two guesses, and just saying offer and then otter, if I'm missing something, we lose the puzzle here. And I feel this is one of those cases where I think I'm going to play it safe. While that might annoy people, I think I'm going to try it safe. I wonder about that Y. I don't think the Y's in there. If there's an F or a D, it's definitely otter or offer. Right. So if I did the word foodie, I test to see if it's one or the other. If I get nothing, then we've got one guess, and we're going to have to do a lot of a serious prayer section. I guess boxer is a possibility here. No. Yes, no, it's not. The O is not in the second spot. I'm sorry. Boxer is not an option. So foodie is like, this is the safe play. For offer otter. And again, if that does not light the F or the D, we're in deep doo-doo, as the saying goes. But I hope that we don't cross that bridge. But just for safety's sake, we're going foodie with the 5th to probably pick up the easy in the 6th. So let's do that for eval here. And there's the D. Okay, so so it should be otter here. Again, I'm just making sure that there's nothing that goes in one of the spots with the D. Otter, there's nothing that goes with that, right? I don't think so. No. Outer, no. I'm pretty much 100% sure that it has to be otter here. Well, boy, I gotta tell you, I'm nervous here. I hope I'm not missing something, but I don't think I am. We know where the O is. We know where the E and the R is. We know where at least one of the D's are. Is the answer to today's puzzle the word otter? No, it's not. What happened here? What was the word? What did we miss here? It's not older. Well, I guess I'm not sure what the answer. Oh, order. I'm sorry. Order. Double R. I never thought about the double R. Wow. That completely went off my brain. Oh, wow. Well, a historic moment. Historic moment on the show. Wow. After a couple hundred, I will have to go and pick it up. Maybe we'll put a graphic on the screen after a count of puzzles. We have been defeated here with order. It never crossed my mind. I don't know why I didn't think about the double R, but I didn't. And there you go. So well over 200 puzzle streak there has come to a conclusion here with order putting me out of order, I guess you could say. So there you go. It happens. I'm not disappointed. I'm a little disappointed. I'm not going to lie. But you know what we do? We're going to get back up tomorrow. And we're going to go and do Fearless Friday, which, by the way, is Zush. Z-H-U-Z-H. So we might have 2 in a row for the first time ever. So Zush, I think, is the right pronunciation. Z-H-U-Z-H. We're going to pick ourselves back up. We're going to start a brand new streak. It's a new day, a new corner. I guess we're going to call it a new season of Wordle. And I hope you'll join me for the new season of Wordle. Well, hello, everyone. It is Tuesday, October the 15th, 2024. I'm Doug. It's time to play some Wordle. But before we begin, I have a quick request for you. We're going to do an experiment. I'm wondering if everyone that watches this is kind enough to just click the like button on this video. Really blow up the likes. We're really curious to see if this helps YouTube expand our reach and grow our community. So thank you so kindly for all your longtime viewers. And again, we appreciate that. Thank you so much to everyone. Let's get into the puzzle. Oh my goodness, my good friend Safety Mentalist, good friend of the channel, is really cool about promoting me and talking me up on the Twitter. So thank you, Safety Mentalist. Doug can give you hints and suggest hints as a starter word. Oh, I think I get the hint. You would like us to start with the word hints. I am more than happy to do that. Let's go ahead. I do like that idea of using hints. An interesting trivia. You can use a plural word as your starting word, even though it's not going to be the answer. So that's a little strategic note there. But anyhow, let's try hints. Oh, unfortunate. That's too bad. That was an excellent starting word, but unfortunately, they don't always pan out. The good news is, of course, we have an open board. We can do anything we want here, so we'll take advantage of that. What would be a fantastic second guess here? Well, let's try and see if we can clear it up here. How about the word clear? 5 super unique letters. And let's see if that gets us a little more insight. How about clear? Oh, I failed to say, is the answer cleared? And then as soon as I hit enter, I realized I didn't usually say it. And the C shows, and I was like, boy, that would be the day we get it. And I didn't properly introduce the word. Sometimes I put myself in the mind of a game show host, and structure is important, Anyhow, a fantastic recovery, though. C and an R both in position, and E out of position. There's obviously only 2 places it can go. Boy, a word jumps right off. Just like yesterday, on the third guess, something jumps right off the page at me. I don't think we move the E into the second spot because all that comes to mind is the word cedar, and we just tested the E in the 4th spot. But, however, if we move the E to the 4th spot, immediately I see the word cover jump out off the page at me. I suppose it could also be the word cower. So possibly a 50-50. But I think I really like cover, whether it's the final answer or not, because we're definitely guaranteed to know where the E lives, no matter what. And whether or not there is, and I don't think that there's a double E here. So the potential presence of an O and or U also gets resolved as well. And, thinking it through, I don't think the U has a place here. So you know what? Thinking again, doing that analysis, oftentimes I find I do most of my analysis on this third guess. And the more I think about this, the more I'm convinced that cover is the answer, or at worst, a 50-50 with cower. But we'll go with my first instinct here with cover. I think we've got it. Have we talked it through correctly? Is the answer to today's puzzle the word cover? No, it's not, but look at that. C-O-blank-E-R. So now I look down here. Now, okay. Good news, bad news, right? Good news is we only have 1 letter left. Bad news is I realize now as I'm looking at it closer. Also, it's not corer. I don't think that's a word. There's no double letters here. And I see cower, but I also, now that I look at this, I see coder, like someone who develops software for a living. I do not believe there's any other potential answer here. So it's actually 2 more possibilities, cower and coder. But we still have 3 guesses left, so I feel somewhat comfortable here. I suppose coyer is like, you're coy, but I'm coyer? I don't think that that's going to be it. But lest we panic, let's go with our first. I always feel like ultimately you want to go with your first instinct here. So between cower and coder, it would be cower. So let's go with that and find out if we've got it in 4. Is the answer to today's puzzle the word cower? No, it's not. Not cower. Okay. So now I get a little nervous because we have 2 guesses left. If we were concerned that we had multiple possibilities here, we could take the somewhat unpopular but conservative play of doing an evaluation to lock it up on the 6th guess. Or we could go for it. I see coder. Maybe coyer, C-O-Y-E-R. I do not see any other possibilities here. Boy. A little nervous about this. I got this weird feeling that's got me a little nervous, but part of me wants to test D and Y. Part of me wants to take the conservative approach, which I know will not be popular. I completely acknowledge that. But we're not playing in hard mode today, so we do have that possibility. The back of my head is saying, are you sure it's not just D and Y? There's something in the back of my head saying, play it safe this time, even if people are a little annoyed with it. It's like the message is just like it's screaming in my head. So we're going to take the potentially easy way out here, and we're going to throw the word daily out there to cover coder and coyer. And, obviously, if both of those were gray, then my instincts were right, and we have to really think hard about every other possible letter. But one step at a time. Again, just something that came into my head here, and sometimes you have to listen. So we're doing an eval on the 5th for daily to hopefully get either the D or the Y to show up in yellow. Daily for eval. No D. No. Whoa. Well, no D and no Y. It's not coder and it's not coyer. It's not cower. It's not cover. Okay, so now we have a problem. We're on our last guess here. Coer, C-O-E-R, is not a word. Corer is not a word. C-O-C-E-R is not a word. It's not the Q. It's not the U. C-O-P-E-R with one P. Copper has two P's. Coper? I don't think that's a word. C-O-F-E-R is not a word. C-O-G-R, unless these are always possibilities that I just don't know a word that exists. I've never heard it. Coker, I don't think is going to be it. C-O-M-E-R, comer, I don't think that's a word. C-O-B-E-R, C-O-X-E-R, so there's a word that I've never heard of before. That's the problem. Whatever word it is, I'm not familiar with. Coper, someone who copes. Coker isn't a word. C-O-M-E-R, comer isn't a word. Cober, coger, cofer, C-O-F-E-R. I know confer is a word, but cofer, I don't believe that's a word. Again, C-O-P-E-R, coper. Huh. So I am in the problem here where I don't know what to do because none of these words that I've enunciated are words I'm familiar with or that I know that I would see used in conversation. Boy, I'm not sure what to do here. We're going to have to pick something. C-O-blank-E-R. Is there a word called corer? C-O-R-E-R? What is a corer? Someone that makes cores? Oh, goodness gracious. This isn't good. This is going to be like luck. Possible things here. I guess 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. C-O-B-E-R is not a word. C-O-U-E-R is not a word. There's probably like 7 different things that even phonetically sound right. And so it's like maybe a 1 in 7 chance I have to get out of this. Cooer. C-O-O-E-R? What does that even mean? Does not look good for me. I'm going to be honest here. Wow. I mean, I'm not missing anything. I know I'm not missing anything here. Obvious. Cofer, C-O-F-E-R. I just don't, that doesn't make sense. Coger, coxer, causer. Q is definitely out. U is definitely out. Coper. I feel like I go with Coper, C-O-P-E-R. But man, that's just, there's no word here that's not really weird. I feel like I'm going with Coper. Yeah. I think I'm going with Coper, and I don't feel good about this. So, don't feel good about this at all. And I'm not going to be upset if we don't get it, because it's going to be a word that I'm not familiar with. And that's what happens sometimes in this game. You can't win them all, but we're going to give it the Hail Mary pass here. And we're going to ask, is the answer to today's puzzle the word Coper? No, it's not. Corer. C-O-R-E-R. Corer was today's word. We did not get it. Wow. Okay. Hey, look, this happens. This is, I think, the third or fourth time in our run where we failed the Wordle. We did today. No shame here. That's a weird one. That's why you watch every day, because you never know what's going to happen. We're going to start a brand new streak tomorrow, and very curious to see how everyone did. Did anyone else get tripped up on Corer? I'm honestly going to have to go look up the dictionary definition. In all honesty, I don't know what that means. So I'll look it up. I'll be self-educated, and there you have it. All right. Well, tomorrow is going to be thick with fun, because we're going to start with the word thick, T-H-I-C-K. By the way, Safety Mentalist, you earn a place in Everyday Doug history as being one of the folks who has stumped me or has given me a starting word that led me to fail. A place in prestige and history. So maybe we shouldn't have had everyone click likes. That's what I get. Thank you as always, and we'll be back tomorrow, I promise, with some more Wordle. Well, hello everyone. It is Friday, December the 13th, 2024. I'm Doug. It is time once again to play Wordle. That's right. It's Friday the 13th. It is Fearless Friday the 13th. So we do, of course, two things on Fearless Friday. First thing we do is we turn on hard mode to get that extra challenge. And then also we try to use a very difficult suboptimal starting word. We're going to use a viewer suggestion this week. Contrarian, very good friend of the channel, long time viewer, writes another Fearless Friday suggestion. Allyl, which is I believe a chemical compound in onions and garlic. So I believe that's actually probably good for you. Nonetheless, we're going to need everything good for us we can get, because we are going to have a challenge here, I suspect, on our Fearless Friday the 13th. Let's not waste any more time. Let's see what we start off with here with Allyl. Yep, okay. I had a funny feeling that's probably how this was going to play out. But that's okay. That's okay. That happens more often than not on Fearless Friday. We have an open board. We can do anything we want on the second guess. O, U, I, and E. Let's try and get 3 of the 4 classic vowels played. So how about the word house? House probably is a good play here. Again, we've got a very good chance of getting something for our efforts. You never know. Is the answer to today's puzzle the word house? No, it's not. Okay. All right. Okay. I like this. We have an O in position in the second spot, and we have an E out of position. Not unhappy about that at all. Not unhappy. Now, I don't think the E is going to be in the first or the third spot. So therefore, by process of elimination, I think that it is most likely our E will be in the 4th spot. So, lots of things I think we can look at here. Here's the first thing that jumps right out at me is the word cover. We get to look at C, V, and R. We get to affirm what we believe to be true about the E. I have a funny feeling we're not going to have to worry about other vowels here. I think that we're good and we're looking for consonants here. So let's take cover. And it could be it. Is the answer to today's puzzle the word cover? No, it's not. But look at that. O and E in position and an R also in position. Okay, I'll take it. Now, I'm reminded of the word corer, which is the last word that we failed on. But obviously the letter C being expended, so I should stop thinking about that. Now, here's what immediately comes to mind. Someone that works in technology and printers. Toner. I love toner so much here because I get to look at the best two consonants on the board, right? And when you think about it, the W in the middle would mean cower. We've established that that's not it because of the C. T doesn't work. I doesn't work. And again, I'm just looking at the possibilities for the third letter. D, F, G, J, K. Joker is interesting, right? Joker. Joker, actually, when you think about it, you got Joker, you got Toner, and you got Boxer. And it's Fearless Friday. We don't get. We're in a lot of trouble with Dozer. We only have 3 guesses, kids, and we have at least 4 possibilities. We are in a bad spot. I got to be honest with you, a very, very bad spot. Dozer, Boxer, Toner, and there was a Joker, and they don't really have any, crossover. Oh man, they don't have any crossover. B and X for Boxer, T and N for Toner, J and K for Joker, and what was the other one? There was another one I forget, but oh boy, this is just going to come down to luck. Here's the reality: this is going to come down to luck. I'm going to be honest with you. Our success or failure is going to be luck based here today. So I guess there's no reason for us to, go on about it. Let's just get to it. I'll start with Toner. 3 guesses, 4 possibilities at least. Is the answer to today's puzzle the word Toner? No, it's not. And of course, the T and the N go away. So we have Joker. We have Boxer. What was the other one? Hold on. What was the other one? There was one other one. Hold on. Boxer, Joker, and there was another one, and I can't remember what it was. Because I'm just deflated here, to be perfectly honest with you. Oh my goodness gracious. I guess we could go with Joker next. There's no reason why not, right? All right, well, we'll go with Joker next. Is the answer to today's puzzle the word Joker? Nope. Down to the last guess here. So we have Boxer. I'm just trying to see what was the one that I missed here. What was the other one? What was the other one? I can't remember what the other one was. All right, well, hold on. Let me just focus here. Dozer and Boxer. And I only have one guess. There's no evaluation. There's nothing I can do. It's a coin flip. We are a coin flip. Dozer and Boxer. Wow. Both of these are certainly plausible. They are certainly plausible here. There's nothing like I don't have any like gut instinct or sixth sense here. They're equally, I literally have to flip a coin on my last guess here. Dozer and Boxer. I almost wish I was playing these live. I could do a poll. But I can't do that. I have to guess. Okay, well, the first word that I remember coming to mind was Boxer. I believe I had Boxer before Dozer. Or maybe I had Dozer before Boxer. I don't even remember that. I'm just sort of like deflated, I'll be honest with you. Dozer and Boxer. I feel like I have to go with Boxer here. But Boxer, you know what? No, Dozer. Oh, boy, I'm vacillating. I've got to go with Dozer. Ladies and gentlemen, is the answer to today's puzzle the word Dozer? No, it's not. It was Boxer. Fearless Friday the 13th. You've defeated me. Oh, man. I'll tell you what, I have no regrets. I don't think I played it wrong. I don't think I played that wrong. I did what I think you had to do there in that spot. Let me go back to the board for a second. I think house was a sound way to go here. Cover also a sound way to go. But I got stuck in the blank O blank ER. And being hard mode, I was not going to have the opportunity to do evaluation. If I was going to do evaluation, I would have gotten there, obviously. But I got stuck. I got stuck in a trap. Yeah, I couldn't. I don't think I could have played that better. So, no regrets on that one. So we failed here. Alil to Dozer didn't make it because I needed Boxer. I was back and forth too. Could have went either way. Well, that happens, folks. We get back up on our horse and we keep riding, and we will do that tomorrow because we are going to hopefully go coast to coast. We're going to start with the word coast tomorrow. So thank you, everyone, for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. It'll make me feel better. All right. We'll start a new streak tomorrow. I hope you'll join me for some more Wordle. Well, hello, everyone. It's Thursday, May the 15th, 2025. I am Doug. It's time once again to play some Wordle. Today, we hear from Joe Quake. Joe Quake writes the following. Someone's avatar, someone else in the comment section, is from the cover of the most remarkable book ever to come out of the great publishing corporations of Ursa Minor, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. That's right. In fact, the Douglas Adams classic. Much of its success is because it has the words "Don't Panic" inscribed in large, friendly letters on the cover. How about panic for a starting word? Joe Quake, that is so amazing, and it hits home. I'm going to do the one shot from it before we start the puzzle. I'll let you know, not only am I a big Douglas Adams fan, but I am a fan of the old 80s computer games that were based on the Douglas Adams books. They were from a company called Infocom. They made text adventure games. And here's my copy. In fact, here it is. My copy of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Infocom. It's for the Commodore 64. And these games had a whole bunch of little extras in them. Unfortunately, my copy, when I purchased it from an estate sale, was missing. There's a little button that says "Don't Panic." I have been looking for that button for years. If anyone out there collects these and has an extra copy with the button, please hit me up. Message me, email me, find me on social media. I will pay dearly for that button. Anyhow, we've got a game to play. This isn't buy, sell, trade computer games. No, this is the Daily Wordle. And we are going to go ahead and play. We were not going to panic, but we're going to use this as an opener. So let's see what we get. All right, not bad. We have a letter A in position here. So that's a good start for us. So there's absolutely no reason to panic. Okay, the world is our oyster on this. We do so many different interesting things here. How about, what do we want to try here? I'm just looking at all the different possibilities. How about water? I don't know that we've used water as a second guess ever. And it's a great word here. We're going to check some fantastic consonants wrapped around it and see what we get. You never know. Could we have a quick solve to this puzzle? This homage to Douglas Adams is the answer to today's puzzle, the word water. No, it's not, but look at that. Oh, really good situation. We now have A, E, and R all in position. Very happy about that. Now, the key thing I think we have to figure out here, more than anything, is what goes in the third spot. I was thinking, obviously, it can't be wafer. We just tested the W. Maybe safer, possibly. The W also rules out wager, right? So maybe, I guess, thinking this through, maybe it's more compelling to look here left to right at what makes sense to go in the first spot. That's interesting. It's tricky here. There's a lot of words that are not likely to be the answer, like lots of slang I'm seeing. Like lamer. I don't think that's going to be it, but you never know. Stranger things have proven to be the word here. Savor, S-A-V-E-R, savor, lamer. So I think we can all agree we're probably looking at combinations of consonants. There's also the possibility that there's a second R, raver, fairer, F-A-R-E-R. There's a lot. So this is one of those things where do we play it quote unquote hard mode style and be luck based, or do we do an eval word to better our chances of eventually landing on the solve? I know that the community largely isn't a big fan of eval words, but I can see so many different directions that this could go, where if we do it very strict, we could easily burn through these 4 guesses. So I think this is one of those moments where I can live with myself putting up an eval word for the purposes of really narrowing things down. I would recommend that we rule out. What's the importance here of ruling out the O and the U? Because I'm not confident that it's likely we're going to have. Yeah, we're not going to have an O or U, so I don't think that's important here. I think finding maybe the best 3 or 4 consonants and getting those looked at is where the real importance comes here. I think that's what I need to do. So let me think here. S, D, and L I'd want to have looked at. I think those are kind of going to be important here. Maybe R strategically. I think R strategically in the front, maybe. Not sure though. No, I'm just trying to think. I think I want D, S, and L. I think that's what I'm looking for. But I'm not confident. That's the thing. L, M. So if we go with the word slums, we test a lot of things. S, L, and M are going to be important here. So testing those 3 letters helps a lot. So I think slums is an eval word that is sensical. So we're going to go with slums for eval. And, okay, none of those letters are part of this. Okay, so that rules a bunch of stuff out. It does, I think. I also think that now I'm not sure if I buy. I mean, rarer would be something else, wouldn't it? 3 R's, rarer. Maybe. Baker is interesting. Faker. So Faker and Baker share a K. So I can see doing Baker or Faker here. That makes sense. As a matter of fact, I think that's what I'm going to do next. We're going to go with Baker next. This is a very tricky spot. It looks promising with a 3, but I can see a lot of potential directions. So proceeding with extreme caution. Is the answer to today's puzzle the word Baker? No, it's not. And the B and the K both out. So Faker is out as well. Okay, so now we're a little worried here. If I recall correctly, here's where I'm getting like deja vu. I recall correctly that one of the handful of puzzles that we didn't solve ended up being the word parer, P-A-R-E-R. And if I recall correctly, I was stuck in a very similar scenario. I'm not trying to create a self-fulfilling prophecy, but I feel like this isn't the first time we've been in this rodeo. Just saying. ADER? No. Vader. I don't think Vader is going to be the word. If it is, then I accept the loss on that. AZER? No. Hazer? I don't think so. So the problem, fader is interesting now, isn't it? Fader is very interesting, like a control on a soundboard, fader. If it's not fader and F and D are not part of this, I'm down to one guess. That's just the reality that we're at right here. Wow. Oh my goodness gracious. And then you say, do you go hazer or rarer? See, there's three completely different possibilities here. Hazer or rarer and fader, and I have two guesses, and there's no like eval that makes sense here. I don't think, unless I do another eval. Could I do something where I get the F and the H or Z? I feel like I have to do that, right? I don't think it's ARER. Let's look at a few things here. I don't think if there's ARER, it's rarer. So strategically, if we go with an eval, a double eval to try and save ourselves here, we're covering for rarer, which has to be the R in the front, hazer, right, or fader. So I need an F or D with the R and an H and a Z. I don't know how to do that. Okay. Oh, that's tricky, isn't it? If we establish that we're confident it's rarer, fader, or hazer, and I get at least two of them covered in this, maybe that's the way to do it. Split the difference, right? I think I kind of have to do that. So if we do, let's do, so I guess it doesn't really matter here, right? If we do refer, we cover rarer and fader because the F will be in yellow if it's fader, and I don't think that besides fader you'd have anything else. FA blank ER. I think unless it's fairer, right? FARER. Oh my goodness, that's true. That's the problem, huh? Oh, so what if we? So okay. So hold on, let's think this through. If we go FERER next, we cover rarer, we cover fader, and if the R and the F are both gray, it's hazer. I think we solved the puzzle here. We solved the conundrum of covering all three. I think we've got the right thing to do here. And it's technically not an eval. All right, fingers crossed. This is a very bad spot, but we're going to do our best here. Is the answer to today's puzzle the word fairer? No, it's not. F and R both out. Both out. So all those combinations are gone. So now we're down to hazer. Right? I don't think Vader is the answer. If Vader is the answer, you know what? Fine. It is what it is. I don't think that that's a possible answer. So I think it's hazer. I don't see anything else. The Q is out. The J is out, right? The X is out. The Z is out. So, well, the Z for Hazer, I should say, is the only thing that we get. All right. Hazer it is. On the sixth guess, Hazer. No, I'm not confident. I'm not feeling good at all about this, but here we go. Everything on the line, current streak on the line, is the answer to today's puzzle the word Hazer? No, it's not. Oh. The answer was eager. I wasn't willing to put a third vowel in there. I ruled that out several minutes ago. Eager was the answer. And there you go. I have that like psychological reluctance to put lots of vowels in a word, and I guess that kind of doomed me from the second half of the puzzle. I was never going to get this. So lesson totally learned today. I have to work on that. That's a me thing. Eager was the answer. We've had our first fill in a long time. I don't know the exact number, but I think it's over 100, I want to say. And there you go. So this happens sometimes. That's okay. It's cool. Everything's good. We're going to start a new streak tomorrow. Curious to see how you did in the comments below. This episode will be added to our playlist, Doug Fails the Wordle. So there you go. I still love the Douglas Adams books. And there you go. Folks, tomorrow is Friday. Can't come soon enough. And we're going to start with the word airy, A-E-R-I-E. So hopefully we won't go too on this Friday, but we'll do our best. Folks, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow for some more Wordle.